Hello, Brave Awakened Ones. Hello, Brave Awakened Ones. Lady V here. Veronica of Higher Realm Holistic, certified holistic integrative health nurse, empathic medical intuitive, spiritual counselor and guide, and Reiki master, energy healer. It was one of those nights, those post-it nights. Been up since 1:30 this morning with the post-its. Had to run out and teach an 8 o'clock dance class. I co-teach an 8 o'clock hip-hop class. Yes, I still do that. Only way I keep sane and keep my energy from going off the charts is by expelling it through dancing. African dance, part African, part hip-hop dance. Any which way, that's enough of that. Now, it's 11:11 as I'm looking at my clock right now. What do you know? I'm going to be touching on one of my topics that I don't like talking about the most. Spirituality. Oddly enough. When I say spirituality, it's about people's beliefs, because it almost touch on religion, what I'm talking about, but it really isn't. It could be misconstrued as religion, as having something to do with religion. And like I say, I don't subscribe to any religion. I never have subscribed to a religion. Never. Even as a child going to Catholic school since the first grade through college, even went to St. John's University, I never subscribed to religion. And what I'm about to say, it could be a touchy subject. So if it doesn't resonate with you, then it doesn't resonate with you. Okay? It could not resonate with you now and could resonate with you a few months from now or never at all. And that's fine. To each his own. Everyone has their own path, just as long as we end up in the same place, which is one love. Okay? So this is just one path that I am sharing with you. Let that be the operative word. A path that I am sharing with you. I am just sharing the knowledge that I have gained through my experiences. Okay? Now, the name of the topic is we are coming into our sovereignty. Now, I've been in my sovereignty, but the collective, including those unawakened, between now, since the 11:11 gateway, excuse me, through 2020, I don't know when in 2020, but through 2020, I'm sure after that, but the majority is from the 11:11 gateway that just passed through 2020. Coming into your sovereignty. Now, the definition of sovereignty, one of the definitions of sovereignty is self-rule. The ability to self-govern and self-rule, which is huge, which is part of our spiritual awakening, which is part of actually coming into oneness, understanding who we are and what we are in God, in Source Creator. Okay, so that's what it is. We are coming into our sovereignty. And like I said, I don't like talking about this stuff. I always found it personal because people get so literally they come after you with claws when you talk about stuff like that. Not that I care, I just rather not experience such unpleasantness. Let's put it that way. But like I said, I've been up all night since 1:30 this morning with my oversoul, just doing some remote viewing and understanding what we're seeing, what we're going to be seeing, what some of us are already seeing or have been seeing, and understand for a time such as this. Okay? Which is the great awakening and the great ascension of Gaia and all of her beings and all of us light workers who are here to assist with that ascension and awakening. Okay? You can see my eyes like, because I'm so wiped out. Tired, but not tired. I just danced for 2 hours, and didn't even lose a beat, but I'm still I guess spiritually, mentally exhausted from what was going on all night long. So, okay, here we go. Ugh. Can't beat around the bush. Okay. Now, this lesson, like I said, I never subscribed to religion all my life, but I did enjoy fellowship in church and being a member of different churches and joining in, because, you know, this path can be a very lonely one. And you do gain information and glean what you need to get to go to the next level from each place you're in. So I by no means do I criticize, look down on any of these churches. Heck, my life was literally saved. And I was just talking about this with my best friend yesterday, because I asked her if she still had the book. But I found my audiobook and I sent it to my son because of the stress he's going through. Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Meyer. That literally saved my life. I was in the room. My son was asleep. I was so mentally exhausted and beat down. I was very sick at the time. I had 30 tumors in my uterus. Just had a baby. I was basically bleeding to death. And I was ready to off myself. And just as I was ready to do the deed, my daughter was at school. My son was a baby. He was asleep. He was 11 months old. And my TV, I heard it click on, the TV in the living room. And Joyce Meyer came on. And she was talking about, she was doing her whole thing, Battlefield of the Mind. And then later on it said that she was going to be in my area in Nassau Coliseum in New York City. In Long Island, actually, and I went to see her, and it saved my life, literally. So I don't poo-poo anything, okay? You don't have to 100% agree with something to glean some life-saving information from that. Battlefield of Mind, what Joyce Meyer did, has nothing to do with religion. Has to do with faith, has to do with spirit. So I don't look down on that. I don't look down on any of those TV evangelists, because you know what? There could be one thing that they say, just one thing that could save your life or somebody else's life, or help you save somebody. Just one thing. So that's why I don't do that. I'm just coming from a place of where my path has taken me, and how I'm guided to share my path, because we're in a time such as this. We're at the time of the great ascension. We're at the time of the great awakening. We're at this big turn, okay? For everyone. Even if you're a light worker, you're here for a reason. You are here for the advancement of your soul. I'm here as a forerunner, as a light worker, as a forerunner, because I know, and I was shown very clearly when I was close to giving up, because so many times I wanted to give up, that I was shown by my oversoul, by my soul star family, that would take me up and be like, you complete this. You get to go to this level. Your soul gets to basically graduate, and you get to go to another realm, and this is where you'll be, and this is how it'll be for you. And that is what keeps me hanging. I've drawn it just so I could look at it, because I don't have to be in the material after this anymore. I get to be out of the material, and I get to just be a light being, and that's what I hang on to. And I look at the drawing that I made, and that's what keeps me going. Okay. So everyone's coming into their sovereignty. Everybody is coming into their sovereignty. Now, again, you can go kicking and screaming, or you can go quietly. But you're going. You can go kicking and screaming, or you can go quietly, but you are going. Okay? Oh yeah, and by the way, just to let you guys know, before I even start this, everything's A-okay when it comes to my webinars and doing sessions. My computer was knocked out. I'm very, 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 very computer savvy. Okay? I did everything. Couldn't get my screen to work again. Couldn't get my computer to work again. Brought it to my computer guy. Still having split screens, 3 screens, 4 screens. It was going bananas. He never even it spooked him. Okay. It literally spooked him what he saw. He was like, I don't know what to tell you. Get a new computer. Put this thing away somewhere. Never look at it again. So, but like I said, I was forewarned. So therefore I was prepared. That's why I'm coming to you from my tablet. I got a really high-end tablet, which is going to allow me to do everything I'm supposed to do. So I was prepared. I got this tablet about a month ago, and I backed up all my files. So, yeah. So that's what you got to do, man. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Any which ways. Coming into your sovereignty. Okay. The lesson goes how it went for me when it comes to, like I said, I enjoyed fellowship. Okay. For the Catholic Church, the fellowship I enjoyed was being in the choir. I loved to sing back then. So I got to travel with the choir as a kid. Since the 2nd grade, I was in the choir. I got to travel and sing and do all those lovely things. And then, yeah, I sang for a very, very long time. And then I switched to the Unity Church. I'm sure a lot of you heard of Unity Church because it's very inclusive. But as I did Unity, I also would go to ashrams also. So I was doing that simultaneously. And then came the hard lessons when I had my awakening in 2012. By 2013, I started getting the lessons of, yeah, this isn't going to last. And this is what you're going to learn from here, and you're going to move on. And one of the lessons I had to learn at Unity, which kind of surprised me, this was a few years ago, about 4 years ago, was about tithing. And how tithing is a false teaching. Like I said, if this doesn't resonate, doesn't resonate. I even took a lesson that they had from a pretty well-known spiritual leader, you know, in the metaphysical world. I'm not going to name their name, but a whole tithing lesson and about the tithing the 10% and you know what you get back for tithing the 10%. And as I was sitting there, as I'm listening to this, and I had to pay for this, and as I'm listening to this, and it was for 2 weeks. I had to go for 2 weeks for this. My oversoul, literally, I felt like a spirit sitting beside me, just whispering to me everything the truth of what I was hearing. And I was like, oh my God. Like I said, you listen with your heart, not with here. You listen with here. Okay. And I was just like, holy crap. It was blowing my mind when it comes to that whole lesson. And I was also a member of Unity. And like I would go to the meetings. I did all the wonderful volunteer work that they did. All that lovely stuff. I love doing that stuff. And again, during the meetings, I would hear the truth under what was going on. And it's not to say anyone there on the board was doing anything nefarious, because they were not. They were just doing their best from the level they were at, which was a 3D level. That's what you have to understand. They're doing their best from the level that they're at, which was a 3D level. And I was able to, through my oversoul guiding me, through remembering also, remember, it's about remembering. As the veil comes down, you start remembering the truth of oneness, starting to see that truth. And one of the things I heard, which is what I would hear since I was a kid, I'm trying to follow my little notes here, was it was all about worship. That whole tithing thing is based on worship. And Jesus says, one of Jesus' quotes about worship was, you worship in spirit and in truth. And it was made very clear to me, the whole tithing thing and the whole sacrificing thing, because even in unity, they teach about, the sacrifices made when it comes to sacrificing the lambs and sacrificing this, and Abraham sacrificing his son. As a kid, that never sat well with me. Never sat well with me. And the one thing Jesus said to me at a very early age was, would a God of love want you to worship him through a blood sacrifice? And they would always say in the church also that humans, God made us so we could worship him. I don't know about you, but that never made any sense to me. Never sat well with me. I'm like, what? That never made sense to me. God made us so we could worship him. That's just projecting the human ego onto God, onto Source Creator. That's all it is. And it's not just the human ego, because you have to remember, we're dealing with principalities here, okay? And the 3D earth is the realm of Satan. Plain and simple. The 3D realm is the realm of Satan. He is the God of this realm. And he is the God that demands sacrifice, that demands blood sacrifice, that demands you to give tithing. That is what you're doing. You are supporting that system when you live by that system. And that was the lesson taught to me. I mean, like, I always knew it as a child because it always bothered me. It was something that just irked me and didn't make any sense to me. But as a kid, I kept my mouth shut. I just put it to the side and was like, at least I could do this part. But I had to leave unity, which hurt, because I was so close to them and I love these people and I communed with these people. I hung out with these people, but I had to leave unity because of that, because it was hindering my sovereignty. And then I thought, okay, I could still go to the ashram. I would go there on Saturdays, go to unity on Sundays, go to meditate, brought my son. I used to go to the Krishna temples also a lot, New York and Georgia and down here in Miami too. Bring my son with me. He loved it because he said it was so peaceful. But then I was sitting there after meditation, listening to the guru. And there was one thing that the guru did that drove me nuts. And it wasn't just his ashram, it was every ashram I went to. There was always a guru guiding everything. And it always bugged me how they would make everyone line up in the end to kiss this guy's hand and to bow to him. Worship again. The word worship kept coming up to me. Worship, worship, worship. And again, my oversoul said to me, I heard, the time of the guru is over. Again, this is a very controversial phrase. Oh yeah, and the phrase that I heard, that was the time of the guru is over. And I remember standing up and asking him a question about ascension and the awakening of the soul. And all he kept reiterating, he was reiterating the same stuff he said before. He was just literally talking in circles. And I was like, and then he got very angry. He got very red-faced with me. And his followers, who were very almost in a trance, turned around and gave me the dirtiest looks and everything like that, and told me that, you should really hold certain questions. And I was never one to stand up and bow and kiss his hand. That I did not. I refused to do, because I was like, didn't feel right to me. I believe in honoring, just the way I always felt. I believe in honoring. Giving honor and gratitude is completely different to me than third dimensional worship. I don't know how that's coming off. But like I said, gratitude and honor come from a place of love. And for me, third dimensional worship comes from a place of fear. They're two very separate things. So I was taught. So I always felt all my life, but it was made very clear to me, in the past like 6 years, which that's why I was driven from place to place, not feeling comfortable anymore because it would hinder my sovereignty. Okay. And I know a lot of you are questioning your faith right now, and this is why. This is exactly why. And then I started to go 2 years ago to the metaphysical church. I found the metaphysical church. And I was there for about a year and a half. And then earlier this year, I got the message that you're getting close, but you cannot stay here anymore. I'm like, why? I'm buddies with the pastor. He's my buddy, I loved it so much because, I got the message, you're getting closer to the truth. And it felt closer to the truth to me, very close to the truth. And I was very involved again. I was a member. I even was going to go was it May? I was going to go May of this year to go learn how to become a pastor for the metaphysical church. That's how much I loved it and was into it. And then I received that message. Not only did I receive the message for me, I received it for the head pastor too, which I eventually gave to him, which in July, and it blew his mind because he was like, oh my God, I've been getting that message and it scared the hell out of me. And that's why I didn't want to call you, because I knew you had that message for me too. And the message was that the church must fall. The church must fall, even the metaphysical church, because it's all built on lies. Not all of it's lies, but the fact that a part of it is a lie, it all has to come down. Like I said, anything grounded in 3D is going to come tumbling down, because 5D must be built. And 5D is built from a place of love only. So that's why the church must fall. Anything based in 3D, even if it's 20% based in 3D, it must fall and be reworked. It must fall and be reworked because it hinders our sovereignty. It hinders us from governing ourselves as Christed beings. It hinders us from governing ourselves as Christ's beings. Let me see, what else? Yep. Oh, okay. Okay, I think I covered everything I'm supposed to cover via my little post-its here. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. Okay. And just know this is not just about Christianity at all. This is all religion, all religions of the world, because religions of this world were formed, no matter how honorable the pastor or priest or rabbi or whoever is running the institution, they're all corrupted. They all, because of the veil of 3D, they've all were corrupted. They were all turned. So many wonderful things were actually twisted and turned topsy-turvy. Jesus, look at the Catholic religion. Look at the Vatican. That's all I got to say. Okay? Look what's going on in the Muslim religion, faith. Look what's happening in the Jewish faith. All of it. It was all turned topsy-turvy. The head tops of all of those religions, no matter what religion you're going to, it's corrupted. So that's why it must fall. So we could stand in our sovereignty. And the sovereignty is standing in your Christed light, your truth. That you are truly a son or daughter of Source Creator, of God. Just like Jesus was. Is, just like Jesus is. Just like Buddha is, just like Krishna is. All of that. You have to understand. Well, this is what I'm trying to help you understand. Okay, I hope I made some type of sense. And again, to let everybody know, everything's copacetic. I'm still having my webinars and I'm still doing sessions. I'm fully operational. You can go to higherrealmholistics.com to book a session or to get on a webinar. Okay, which I have Wednesdays and Sundays, and the one coming up today is on helping your Kundalini to rise. And then next week, I'm doing cord cutting and taking back your energy. Okay, so namaste. I hope I make sense. Again, if it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. Take what resonates and release the rest. I live by that motto. I don't discount anything. You know, I'm just here to teach what I know, to help, to just help enlighten. That's all I'm doing, you know, which is how we gain our sovereignty. You know, I'm not looking for, I'm no guru. Like I said, I am not a guru. I'm just here to shed some light, help with this process. Like I said, take as many up with me as possible. Okay, so love and light, peace, victory to the light. Lady V, out.